Hello, everybody. Welcome to According to CD. So, without further ado, let's get into this one. Today's video, we are going to be talking about Jacob Zuma, the former president of the Republic of South Africa and the former president of the African National Congress, which is the ANC. Basically, the ANC charged Zuma with decampaigning the organization, which is the ANC, by campaigning for Umkhonto weSizwe, a new political party which is the third largest in parliament after the 29th of May 2024 general elections, basically removing the EFF, who have been comfortably sitting in that position for the past, I think, two elections or something like that. And Mr. Zuma, of course, he was then chosen as the leader of this new political party, which was quite shocking for me, if you ask me, because I always thought that Jacob Zuma will never leave the ANC for anything. However, though, the interesting part about Mr. Zuma's conduct, which I think is gross misconduct, because I don't think it is okay for anybody that belongs to a political party to campaign for another party and not campaign for their own political party. And I don't know what he was thinking, but he sounds to me like a person that was disgruntled about one thing or another. I think I did see Tony Yangeni trying to justify why Jacob Zuma sort of abandoned the ANC during the last elections and went with Umkhonto weSizwe, which I also thought it was a frivolous defense. He was defending the indefensible. Is that how the word is? And he's an adult. And Jacob Zuma is not stupid. He's one of the smartest politicians I think we ever had in South Africa. Yes, he may have questionable characteristics, but let's not take it away from him. He's a very, 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 very intelligent person, especially for one that does not have even a primary school education. I think when you drop out at grade 4, that is just learning how to read and write. But he apparently even speaks 4 or 5 international languages fluently, like French or Russian. I don't know what else he speaks fluently. And that shows a lot of intelligence. And he became president of the Republic of South Africa not once but twice, even though his second term he did not complete it because of some shenanigans that were transpiring. Whether one believes those shenanigans to be true or a conspiracy against them or whatever, there are things that were happening nonetheless, especially the Guptas and how they also gotten this corridor to escape the law or the full might of the law and ran away to Dubai. I think in recent months, one of the Gupta brothers, they threatened some person who has a direct relationship with the president of India. And so they wanted to do the same thing they did to South Africa. Apparently, according to their admission to this individual, who ended up offing themselves so that they cut off that line between this Gupta brother and the president of India. So basically, this individual died for India and India's sovereignty and national security and all of that stuff. I found that very fascinating. I keep wondering if any of those guys in the ANC, especially those that always got summoned to Saxon World, which we believe was the true um, union buildings, because apparently the Guptas at the time they could appoint and remove ministers, and they would appoint a minister who is going to dance to the curry and also dance to the tabla and all that other Indian instruments. But eventually, the people of South Africa said, "Mm-mm, this is not going to be. We want the head to go," meaning the president, meaning Jacob Zuma, to go. Now, from what I understand, apparently Mr. Zuma inside the ANC was almost placed in the political wilderness. He was not being taken serious. He was not being consulted with when it came to matters. And so this developed some kind of resentment as well as anger, so much so that he thought he was firing some warning shots when he joined the Umkhonto political party, without realizing that this little beast that he was busy creating was going to become a huge dragon, which today is now the third largest political party in parliament, and also took over, basically dethroned the ANC in KwaZulu Natal. Whoever thought the ANC will ever lose KwaZulu Natal? But for me personally, I don't think it's any different than controversies or ANC. For me, it's the same thing. And I think there was a strategy there, one way or the other, where I think Mr. Zuma was going to use the MK to get what he wanted. But uh, in all, I don't know, the truth I think behind controversies, I think Mr. Zuma foresaw that the ANC was going to lose a chunk of the election results. So he took a small chunk of the ANC, turned it into MK, but they were going to reunite in parliament and they were going to work together in parliament. However, I feel like either Mr. Zuma or people around him started asking for too much for the ANC to give away, and hence today we have government of national unity, where I should actually name this according no government of national unity again. How do I put this? I'm trying to find a name for this. Let me see. Uh, Government of national unity according to CD. Yeah, I think I'll call it that. GNU according to CD. How do you guys like that? Yeah, maybe that's how I'll call it. Because all of this has something to do with the GNU currently. Maybe one topic is not related to GNU that I may talk about now and again, because I'm also following the current affairs in that country. But the point that I'm trying to make here is Mr. Zuma is disgruntled, and hence he did what he did with Umkhonto we Sizwe. And unfortunately, what they would try to bargain for, they did not get, because the DA swooped in and took the position that the ANC could not say no to. And today they formed a government of national unity. And now the ANC, of course, needed to decide what they are going to do with their former president, Mr. Jacob Zuma, now that he is a leader of a totally different political party with totally different ideology and values, and what all that stuff that politicians or political party are about. And so a disciplinary commission was held on him, which therefore came to a conclusion that Mr. Zuma is guilty of decampaigning the African National Congress, or ANC, and therefore they expelled him from the party. So I don't know what impact that has caused Mr. Zuma, whether he cares or he doesn't care. I doubt that he did go and attend the disciplinary commission. I did not watch, unfortunately, but I am reading the results of everything that's going on. These are my thoughts, by the way. And so the question that I have in mind is, since he was the former president of the country, coming from the ANC, I get the separation between the state and the party, but he belongs to a different political party. Does he still get state resources, state salary, state everything that a former president of the country gets the privileges of having post the term? What about their pension? What about so many things? Those that are in the know, please comment in the comment section and educate me. What's going to happen to his presidential salary? as former president of the country. I know this salary gets taken away when you are impeached, but what about when you were a president of a political party? Because that line is very blurred from what I observed between the state and the party. There's supposed to be a separation between the two, but with the ANC, Yonkin Sipiakes type of situation, I don't know. So, yeah, I thought those are my thoughts regarding the Jacob Zuma expulsion from the ANC. I think he is disgruntled, and I think the ANC may have started its how do you put the word? I want to say dissemination. I also want to say it's destruction because, of course, all the people that supported Mr. Zuma that are in the ANC NEC, they they are disgruntled as well. There's definitely going to be a pushback. There's going to be a fight, especially when it comes to either adopting this report from the ANC disciplinary department or whatever they call themselves. I think there'll be a pushback, which will cause more damage to the party itself. Probably they are the ones who are going to kill the ANC themselves. And it's quite sad to look at Ace Mahashula as well, who was the biggest supporter of Jacob Zuma. He himself looks like his political career is over by the look of things with all the legal or criminal cases against him, especially regarding the Albestos and some farm, probably other charges that are going to be laid against him now that he is not protected by the ANC umbrella and having all that power to make things go away. And secondly, the government of national unity will also be keeping an eye to make sure that he stays far away from anybody that holds important power in the country. So it's quite interesting. The next few months are going to be interesting. The next election, I think this is it for the African National Congress. There's no coming back. Absolutely no coming back. Especially if you are looking at the work that is being done by political parties in the government of national unity. Hmm. South Africans are watching, and they are being impressed by other ministers that are already implementing things. I don't know, guys. It's going to be interesting. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts about all of this. What is happening? Where do you think the ANC is headed to? I foresee some ANC members who are disgruntled joining political parties that came off the ANC, but I foresee them going to Congress of the People more than they will be going to controversies where I also foresee some going to the DA, but I don't think they'll last there because that party itself has its own issues, especially when it comes to black people. So I think the best option for them is either going to be Congress of the People or the Economic Freedom Fighters. It's going to be interesting. But me, if if I were them, I will go to where things are now a little bit more stable. Congress of the People would actually be a choice for me to go there if I am one of these ANC people that supported Jacob Zuma, or maybe they themselves are being targeted because there will be people that are going to be targeted to be vilified and removed from positions and fired from positions in the parastatals, etc., and so on, simply because they supported Jacob Zuma. So yeah, this is a mess that the NC is facing, and it's a making of their own. To be honest, this is a making of their own. Other than that, guys, do not leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And when you subscribe, please click the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload new videos, because I got more stuff that I need to talk to you about that is on my mind. In most cases, it's stuff that you ask me about. What is going on in your head when it comes to these topics? So we shall see each other again soon. Goodbye.